is Raina. Thank you for joining me on my channel, and today I'll show you how to crochet a blanket in Catherine wheel stitch. And this is a bulky blanket. I'm using a super bulky weight yarn, and I actually modified this pattern a little to fit this particular yarn type. I'm gonna show you in a second the exact yarn I'm using. So, and with my stitch count, my blanket measures 38 inches wide and 53 inches long. And I really like this pattern. I think it's beautiful with the wheels in contrast colors. And I use Bernat Blanket yarn for this one, and two colors. This one is vintage white, and the contrast color is dark gray. And this yarn is super bulky, and it is 100% polyester. And I use 2 balls of each color. And for the crochet hook, it's the 8mm size. And I start with slip knot. And then I need to chain 78. And we begin with the white yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you have your 78 chains done, we can start our first row. And for that, we first want to single crochet into that second chain from the hook. So we skip this first one and insert hook into that second and do the single crochet. And also we'll do a single stitch into the next chain, so this one. Let's do the second one here. And now we need to skip 2 chains, so we're gonna skip this one and this one, and we're gonna pick the third one, and we will make 5 double crochets into it. So I'm gonna start the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we will now again skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and single crochet into the next, and also single crochet into the next 2 chains. So total of 3 here. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to repeat this all the first row. Skip 2 chains, 1, 2, double crochet 5 times into the next, then skip another 2 chains and single crochet 3 times. And do this until you have 3 chains left at the end of this row. And I have my 3 last chains here. 1, 2, 3. I did last 3 single crochets here. And again, I will skip 2 chains, this one, and into the last chain I'm going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And when you count, you will have 9 of these 5 double crochet clusters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I didn't count that last one. That's like a half cluster here. So we have 9.5 basically. At this point, we are going to join our dark gray yarn. So let's make a slip knot with that. And then pull it through the last white loop and make a chain. And then turn, and we can start the second row. And first we are going to single crochet in first 2 double crochets. So 1 single crochet to this one and 1 into the next one. And one thing before I go on, I did not cut off my white yarn. I keep it here because row 4 I'm going to switch back to the white yarn. So continue row 2nd. We did 2 single crochets. Now we chain 2, and we will now do the 7 double crochet cluster. So for that, yarn over and insert hook into the same space where you just finished that last single crochet. Pull up a loop, then pull through first 2 loops on hook, and keep the last 2 loops on hook here. Again, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and pull through first 2 loops. Now you have 3 loops on hook. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up loop, and pull through first 2 loops on hook. Now 4 loops on hook remain. Yarn over, insert into the next, pull up loop, and pull through first 2 loops. We have 5 loops on hook and 4 double crochets. Next, do it into the next space and pull through first 2 loops. We have now 6 loops on hook. Again, into the next, pull up loop and pull through first 2 loops. Now we have 7 loops on hook and 1 more. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up loop, and pull through first 2 loops. And so now you have 8 loops on hook. It's those 7 double crochets and the chain that we started with. And now we need to pull through all of these. And we have the cluster made. Now chain 3, 2, 3, and make a single crochet stitch into that same space where you did the last double crochet. Now make another one into the next space and one more into the next. So we have 3 single crochets here on top of that 5 double crochet cluster of last row. And now we repeat, chain 2 and start your 7 double crochet cluster, yarn over and insert hook into that same space where you did the last single crochet, and pull through first 2 loops on hook, and then to the second, to the third, then fourth, fifth, sixth, one more, and 7. Again, I have 8 loops on hook and pull through all of them. And 3 chains. Single crochet into that same space where the last double crochet was, and 2 more, and 2. So now repeat this until you've reached the last 4 stitches of this row. After the last 3 single crochets, we actually have 3 more stitches left here. 1, 2, 3 at the end of this row. And when you count again, you have 9 of these clusters. And now we finish the row with a half cluster. And so we do like before, we chain 2, and then we do 4 double crochet clusters. So we insert hook into that last single crochet space, pull through first 2 loops, and then to the next, pull through first 2 loops, into that next, pull through first 2 loops, into the last stitch, pull through first 2 loops. We have 5 loops on hook, and now pull through all of them. And here's our half cluster at the end of the row. Now row 3, chain 3, 2, 3, and turn. And now we need to double crochet twice into that same space here. Here, this one. So insert hook right there, do your first double crochet, and do 1 more into the same space. And now reach over to these 3 single crochets and single crochet once in each. So here 1 and 2 and 3. And now we are going to make 5 double crochets on top of that 7 double crochet cluster. So find the space here in the middle and insert hook here, and do your 5 double crochets, all of them in here. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All in the same space. And now we just have to reach over again and single crochet into those 3 ones of the last row. So 1, 2, 3. So as you see, this 5 double crochet cluster completes this part of the pattern, the circle. Now continue this row same way. After 3 single crochets, double crochet 5 times. On top of that, 7 double crochet cluster, insert hook here in the middle. After the 5 double crochets, again 2, 3 single crochets. And when you're done with the last 5 double crochets, and you see we have those last 2 single crochets left here on this row, and we're just gonna single crochet in both of those. So we do 1 and 2. And here we're going to now switch back to the white yarn. I'm just gonna bring it back up here and pull it through the cray loop. Pull the cray loop tight and keep it here. I'm not cutting that off either. And we can start row 4. First I'm gonna turn, and now chain 2. 1, 2. And now we're going to do the half cluster. It's gonna be 4 double crochet cluster. So yarn over and insert hook into the next stitch, pull up loop, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, insert into the next, pull up, pull through first 2 loops, yarn over, insert into the next, pull through first 2 loops, 1 more, over, pull through first 2 loops, and you have 5 loops on hook. And now pull through all of them here. And here chain 3, and reach over to the space where you did the last double crochet and single crochet in it. 1, then single crochet into the next, and also into the next. So again we have those 3 single crochets here on top of the cluster of the last row. And so basically we're going to repeat the second row now. So after the 3 single crochets, we chain 2, and then we do 7 double crochet cluster. So let's do 1 here. We insert hook first into that same space where we did the last single crochet. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Very tight here on hook now, and now pull through all of them. And here's our first cluster. And from here we did 3 chains. Again, 3 single crochets here. 1, 2, 3. So repeat this until the end of the row. And when you're done with the last 7 double crochet cluster, and made your 3 chains. We finished the 4th row with 2 single crochets. So first one goes into that same space as the last double crochet, and the second will go into that top chain that we did with the gray yarn on last row. And now row 5, continue with white yarn, chain 1, turn, and single crochet in both of these stitches. So do 1 and 2, and from here we are going to repeat row 3. We have to double crochet 5 times on top of that last row cluster. So do 5 double crochets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then single crochet into those 3 stitches of last row. So do 1, 2, 3, and repeat this. Next is again 5 double crochets on top of the cluster, and then 3 single crochets. And to end row 5, when you're done with 3 single crochet stitches into that last half cluster, we're going to double crochet 3 times. So we do 1, 2, and 3, all in same space. And again, now for row 6, it's time to switch back to the gray. I'm just going to bring it here from the side. Just make sure it's not too tight, and just make a loop into the white loop and a chain. We are going to stitch through the edge, the whole edge at the end once we're done with the main blanket. So all these yarn parts here on the sides will be hidden in the stitches, so not to worry about that. And now you can just repeat the rows from 2 to 5. So we just joined the gray yarn, so you're going to do the second row first, the bottom half, the 70 double crochet cluster, and then row 3, the top part with 5 double crochets, and then switch back to white and to the same. So yes, keep repeating the rows 2 to 5 until you've used up your all your yarn, and then I'll meet you there. And I have finished most of my rows now, and I just want to show you another way of starting row 4, which is the one we start with white yarn, this one, and I used it for the most of my blankets because I think it looks better. So the difference is we start with 3 chains as I showed before, but instead of doing 4 double crochets, I'm gonna do 3. So that's the only difference actually. So here I'm on my last row, gonna join the white yarn, chain 3 and then turn, and then now instead of inserting hook into this single crochet, I'm going to skip that. I'm gonna insert hook into that next one, pull up a loop, start the first double crochet, and then 2 more. So second, and then the third, and now pull through all loops. So that's going to be the lower part of the white yarn pattern. So when we compare, here's my 4th row, the one that I did, you see the chains and 4 double crochets. And then the next one, I did 3 chains and 3 double crochets. And then I continued on like that. I just think it looks better. You see, it looks more even this way. And now I'm just going to finish my last row, and then we can crochet the edge. And I finished my last row with white yarn. It's the bottom half of the wheel, and so just like we started, the first row was the top part of the wheel. I just wanted to show you how many rows I did. So it's going to be 14 of these dark gray wheels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I have 13 white wheel rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 2 of those edge half wheel rows, 1 on top and 1 on the bottom. And now I have enough white yarn left to make the edges, and I'm going to single crochet along these longer edges, not the top and bottom edges. So first I will make a chain and single crochet first into this last single crochet stitch that I finished last row. And into the dark gray wheel I will make 4 single crochet stitches. So first one I'll make here, second I'm gonna make into this middle space, third one here, and 4th here. And then I will make 2 single crochets into the white yarn rows. And again, first into the gray wheel, second in here, middle, third, and 4th. So keep doing this across the edge, and then cut off the yarn and repeat the same on the other side. And here's my finished blanket. The edges are all done and the yarn tails weaved in. So I hope you like this pattern and my tutorial. As always, I'll have the written pattern included on my website. You can click on the link below the video to find it. And let me know if you have any questions. And happy crocheting!